All right, brand new episode of Walking Dead. That means brand new mission. Let's take a look at both. Follow the clues to find Connie before it's too late. I guess this mission could have gone two ways. It could have followed Connie and the guy in the house. I guess this kind of makes more sense because you've already got some existing character models for these characters. So, all right, let's... All right, well, a little bit of adventure for this one. What's around every corner? It's a low-level walker who can be easily dispatched. But okay, all right. Yeah, this was. I mean, this was definitely in the episode, so that's pretty good. Looks like it's a pretty big map, actually, especially for a an episode mission. Rosita and Carol. Yeah, this definitely happened there. Okay, Carol, what have you got while you search that? Oh, it's the letterbox. Okay, all right. Yeah, that's episode specific. Then we've got a lawn chair. All right. And I'm guessing there'll be a line of dialogue at the end saying they must have gone this way. I would have thought it'd say, look, they are in that house, but we didn't get that. Okay, all right, that's fun enough. That's quick enough. Okay, I like that. That represents the bit at the start of the episode, I suppose. Fairly straightforward mission. Looks like we get some Carol tokens. If you're a fan of Carol in the game, then good for you. I don't think that she is one of the better scouts. Definitely think that Survivalist Rick, Huntsman Daryll, so much fun to use, and Glenn, when it comes to missions where you've got to search things, just take the biscuit and you cannot... I mean, you can't upgrade and prioritize everybody. You've got to decide whose tokens you're going to go for. Stuff like that. So, is Carol a fantastic hero? Not really. She's not bad, but she's not somebody that I would prioritize. But hey, if you want some Carol tokens, if you do, because you love her in the show or whatever, then yeah, fill your boots. On to the episode. So this is season 11, episode 6. I'll try and actually get the episode title correct when I upload this video, like I didn't last week. I think they went with a horror theme for this episode. So the opening was very reminiscent of Night of the Living Dead. I think that was on purpose. If you've ever seen the classic, you'll notice some of the shots, some of the angles, definitely paying homage to that. It is, of course, worth noting that Tom Savini directed a colour remake of Night of the Living Dead, and for all the hate that I'm going to get, because obviously Night of the Living Dead is the original piece of zombie fiction, the Tom Savini remake is better. Features Tony Todd as Ben, and it fleshes out some of the characters, some of the plot lines. It's in colour, the action's better, the filming's better. Night of the Living Dead, of course, George A. Romero's absolute classic. It deserves its place in history. Without it, I'm sure there would not be any Walking Dead franchise. But yeah, if ever you get a chance to watch the remake of Night of the Living Dead, it's better. Say that very quietly because purists will go nuts if you say that. Oh, what have I got? I've got a note here saying the worst map ever. So at one point somebody opens a map. I remember it being the size of a postage stamp, and it looked like something that Charlie from Always Sunny in Philadelphia would have written. It's kind of crazy how uninformative and useless that map was. Yeah, we saw some more torture with the Westboro Baptist Doomsday Preppers. This is kind of a problem because it's supposed to show how badass they are and how much of a problem Daryll is going to have with them. But in the previous episode, we saw our heroes indulging in torture. So you can't kind of like do that to emphasize how bad the bad guys are if our heroes are like really willing to indulge in that anyway. But yeah, all right, okay, fine. I don't know if there's any other show that has this much forced imprisonment and torture in it. It's just, that's the show. It's quite a nihilistic kind of downer of a show. That's not a criticism, just an observation. But my God, there's a lot of it. They made a decision to have a bit of a haunted house, kind of bit of suspenseful horror. That was cool. I like that even in the 11th season, these guys are trying something new. I remember when they did something a bit sort of Halloween-y with Beta kind of invading our hero's camp, and that worked really well. For the most part, that horror stuff was actually done pretty well. Weirdly, it reminded me of a film starring Lauren Cohen called The Boy. So that was odd. But yeah, bit of actual genuine horror, good use of sound. Obviously following Connie, who can't hear, cutting out the sound so that we can't hear to sort of match that kind of environment. That was pretty great. I love that now that we know who they are, the bad guys who always did wear masks don't. Fine, it's a storytelling conceit. It's so you can see who everybody is. It's always funny when that happens. It's like when they're building up the tension, everybody's wearing masks, and then when we, the audience, know who they are, it's like, oh, it's those guys. I loved how in one scene the paramilitary doomsday preppers of God, the Revelation brand God, are busting in and clearing rooms in a broadly tactical manner, and Daryll's just sauntering around after them like he's too cool for Bible school. He's just they're kind of like, boof, okay, cover the corners, like, cover my back. Okay, clear, move on to the next one. Okay, the house is secure, and he's just like, whatever. Just gonna wander around after you guys, just sauntering around, like, whatever. Okay, genuine criticism. The haunted house stuff should have had some kind of an arc. There should have been something like, Connie wants to run, the guy wants to stay, and that's kind of cool. They should have built up the tension. They should have taken on the murder Mowglis, and the guy should have got taken out or something, and then Connie has to face the fact that she's always trying to run from her problems, and instead she has to get really primal, like these strange feral humans are, has to get in touch with that primal side of herself to fight them off. Or you could have had a ticking clock where, the murder Mowglis are clearly gonna get them. Everybody else is outside fighting to get in but can't get to them. Just ramp up that tension a little bit. I've not made anything. I've not made, a TV show or anything. I'm just not a fan of plot lines and stories where it's just stuff happens. Hey, what about if Connie and this guy get into a house? And then there's these murder Mowgli feral humans, and then, they kill them and they get out and meet everybody. And you're like, okay, but, what about the characters and stuff? What are we going to learn? Who learns something? Who goes through a process? There's kind of not much of that. I didn't mind it. It was just, it's interesting to sort of see those feral humans. It's just, they could have done something a bit more with it. Final note that I've got here. I loved this. This is my favorite ending to a Walking Dead that I've ever seen. And it's spectacular. So Daryll and his girlfriend, I can't remember the name of her right now, Leia. So they get back along with that Carver guy, and they meet the head of the Doomsday Prepper God Squad Pope or whatever it is, Paul. I don't know. And Carver and Commando Mario, the big denouement of the episode is that they just walk off and they make it like totes obs that they're talking about Leia and Daryll, who kind of like look completely shocked as they disappear off camera, and it's the best thing ever. I want to see so much more of this in my Walking Dead, because it's just absolutely fantastic. Like, next episode, I want Rick and Michonne to turn up, and they meet like Negan and Maggie, and Negan and Maggie, oh my god, it's you're here again, and they're just like, yeah, we're like totally here, and then start giggling to each other and like making really obvious sideways glances, and then have Negan kind of being like, Rick hates my new look, you know, and then Michonne looks over at Michonne looks over at Maggie and sort of starts giggling, and Michonne's like, oh no, it's, you know, Maggie's like, oh no, she's talking about my hair, she hates my hair. That's what I want. I want to see more characters giving everybody else the side eye, and then just walking off and kind of giggling and making it really obvious that they're talking about them behind their back, like the mean girls in some clique or something. I want the finale to be our heroes kind of like lining up against the survivalists, and then just having a complete bitch off. And you know, the survivalists being like, oh my god, you guys look like so comfy. It's like, sometimes I wear what was last season as well. And then I want our heroes to be like, oh yeah, and like, you can't go wrong with black, so I love that you're all wearing just black. That's what I want to see more of in my Walking Dead. Because that episode final scene just made me laugh so much. Anyway, what did you think of season 11, episode 6? I thought it was sort of middle of the pack. I thought there was some good stuff going on there. I like that we got multiple storylines going on. Some of those stories were definitely better than others. Let me know what you thought in the comments. And as ever, thanks for watching.